So let's have a look at how you can sequence the pentatonic scale and get some super fast runs. We're going to leave some of the work for the left hand. Instead of doing alternate picking, we're going for legato, and we're going for sweep picking string shift instead of alternate picking string shifts. And that combination makes the sequence so fast. We're going to do a little bit of stretching. If you find that this is difficult, then please play in another key. Instead of playing in C as we do here, go for the E, because there, less distance in between the frets. What we have here is the C minor pentatonic, and the first position, please visualize that, 8 and 11 on the low E string, and then 8 and 10 on both the A, the D, the G string, right? And then we got the 8th and the 11th fret on the high E string and the B string. That's the pentatonic scale, but we're going to lay it out a little bit differently. So if you go to the high string, I'm going to add a note right there in the 13th fret, right? And as I said, if you find that difficult, then go higher up on the neck, right? So those are the notes on the high E string. It's 8, 11, and 13. Then we got the 11th on the B string. And then we got 3 notes here as well. We got the 8th, the 10th, and the 12th fret on the G string. So we're adding all the time an extra note to our, right? Right? 8, 10, and 12. We got the 10th fret on the D string, lonely note, and then I got the 8th, the 10th, and the 13th fret on the A string. And you'll get, if you do this enough, you'll get used to these combinations of minor thirds and whole tone shapes, 2 whole tones, 1 whole tone, and 1 minor third. It will become programmed into your fingers. So it's easy to play. But what I do then to get this sequence going is I hit the first note there in the 8th fret, hammer on to the 10th, hammer on to 13, pull off down to 10, and pull off down to 8 again. Then I hammer on to the 13th finally. Right? And remember, especially when we're doing this, keep your thumb in the middle of the neck, on the back of it. Keep your fingertips pointed towards the fretboard so that you're hitting the strings with those instead of the side of the finger, right? So go. So you might want to take your elbow just a little bit down to make that happen. So this is what I'm playing. Pick, hammer on, pull off, and hammer on. I'm going to hit the D string now on the 10th fret with a downstroke. And then the 8th fret with the downstroke as well on the G string. So I got that little sweep there. So now I'm going to hammer on the 10th fret and the 12th fret and pull off again, down to the 10th, down to the 8th, and then hammer on again, just like I did on the first string in the 12th fret. Sweep. Right, so the same sequence, different notes, different string. So now we have the following. Alright. Now I'm going to move up here. Next note in my shape is the 11th fret on the B string. Going to pick that with a downstroke and then go to my next note, the 8th fret on the high E string, and then the 11th and the 13th, right? But here I'm just going to go, so I'm just going to pick that with a downstroke in the 11th fret and pick it with 8th fret high E string with a downstroke as well, and just hammer on to 11th and hammer on to 13 and pull right off again all the way down. And then I hit the 11th fret with an upstroke now on the B string and go down to the G string, and here on this G string now, on the way back, I'm going to pull off from that note down to the lowest and go up and down. So I go, alright, so I come from this, alright, going to do the same thing now, but different notes. Hit the 10th fret with an upstroke on the D string, hit the 13th fret with an upstroke as well on the A string, and pull off down to the 8th fret. Go to the next note, 10th fret, 13, back again. Right? So slowly up and down. That's the end of it, right? And since I already did this, right, so I'll go. I'm just gonna go to the 11th fret here, or 13th fret with a downstroke, and then continue down. So it sounds like this. And then right back up. Right, so. So the whole thing in a loop. Right? So what we basically have done here is just lay out the pentatonic scale in a new way, where we have 3 notes on one string, 1 on the next, 3 notes and so on, instead of just doing 2 notes per string. So it's the same scale. Right? Right? Oh, sorry. The way to start using this sequence and this shape is to go back and forth between what you know and what you don't know. Right? The old and the new. Once you have practiced the sequence. Oh, I'm in a known place here. I can just hit that note. Right? Right, so I go. That's one leg. Right. 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 And then you can continue with the other lesson yesterday, which is the blues scale. And of course, which gives you a more wacky sound because we involve the diminished arpeggio and the Dorian notes and so on, the 9th and the 6th. But once you start combining these, you have some tools that can inspire you as you solo. Just shift your tool and you're re-inspired instead of relying only on licks. So sequences and fretboard patterns are a really cool thing. So practice the sequence first and then practice integrating it with what you know already. Just take it easy. Right. End the whole thing, break it up, do different things, use a little bit of it, go into the blues scale and back again, and study going back and forth at a slow level. Once you have something that sounds cool, you can try to speed it up. See you in the next video.